Hey, welcome to the podcast where lashes, life, and good vibes collide. Whether you're here for insider tips, beauty biz advice, or just need some feel-good energy, you've come to the right place. We're spilling tea, diving into all things lashes, vibing out with music and TV, and of course, growing closer to God in our prayer corner. So hit that follow button, grab your drink, and let's lash it out, bestie. This is Hey Lash Hey, the show you didn't know you needed. Here's your host, T.
Hey Lash, hey, it's me, T, the SD, and your Lash Bestie. I am so excited to be here for another podcast, and I just want to take a second to thank you all for your support. Now, today's episode, we are going to get into it. Like, when I tell you we're going to get for real, we're getting for real. We're talking about handmade and promades and keeping your lash opinions in your lane. So before we dive in, let's catch up on me.
It's tea time.
Okay, best friend. So this month's tea time is overflowing, and let me break it down for you real quick. Okay, that was just my phone. So let me silence that because that's rude. I'm recording. All right, so cheer season started. You all know I'm a cheer coach, and I officially have 48 daughters this year. It was so tough. I had to cut a couple of people, and the last couple of years, I've been fortunate enough where if people try out, I usually have enough spots where I can take everybody. But we added middle school last year, and now those eighth graders that are graduating and completely fell in love with cheer, they want to come back and cheer, and they're actually really good. So it makes me excited, but it's also nerve-wracking because I got 48 girls that I have to handle. So yeah, pray for me. That's 48 hormonal children. We've got all the energy, and hopefully the season goes amazing. So I'll keep you updated with that. If you want to follow us on TikTok to support the girls, it's BSHS Cheer. We're green and white, so if you see green girlies, that's us. So on the lash end of it, I am in my trainer in training for PLA, and I'm like literally in the thick of it. It's a lot of learning, a lot of self-reflection, and a lot of like going back and learning the basics, and also learning how to teach this to other people. And like everybody learns differently, so there's different learning styles, and I feel like I'm pretty good at touching different ways of teaching or explaining things in different ways. I usually am I'm really good at analogies, so I'm trying to stay focused and faithful and listening to what God wants me to do. And also, I'm horrible at posting my content like in a routine way, and so I have to get more consistent with that, and I want to hold myself accountable. So I feel like if I tell you guys and you don't see me posting, then that you need to be like, yo, where's the content? Because yeah. So it is Lash Award season right now. And when I say Lash Award season, not necessarily knowing if you've won or not, but taking that leap into just applying for any awards that are coming up. Lash Battles was last month, and I heard that it was amazing. So sad that I missed it. I'm definitely going to be there next year because it's judged blindly, so they don't know who you are. They don't know whose work they're looking at, and it seemed to have went really well. I personally have entered the Lashy Awards, and I won last year, so I'm definitely going to re-enter again this year, and probably for multiple categories. Last year I was so nervous, and I only applied for the one Lashy Award because I was so scared that I wasn't going to win, and it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. The worst they could have said was no. So this year, I'm probably going to apply for all of them. Even if it's something that's not my specialty, I'm still going to apply because why not? Another one that I missed was the Lash Awards. And I think they're held in like Australia or something. But you send in pictures of your sets and they will basically look at them and judge them and have judges for different categories. And they have like a wide range of categories. So you could do classic, volume, color set, most creative set, wet set. I think there's like a category for pretty much anything you can think of. And if it's something wild that you do that nobody else does, I would do that in the creative category. But I think they officially launch in July and I think it closes in August. And I waited till the very last day. So do not wait. Like literally start taking your pictures now. They have specific angles and everything that you have to take pictures of. So make sure that you do it correctly. And then if you start now and you're doing clients like every day, you'll have a couple of options to choose from and you'll see those clients a couple of times before you can enter. So if there's anything that you need to adjust, my only thing is make sure you're taking like a million pictures. If you know this is for a competition, you want your pictures to look like completely flawless. So without editing. So you want to make sure you get a couple of different angles so that you can have options to choose from. Say you do this perfect set and one of the lashes just happens to sag in the inner corner or something, or is twisted or turned the wrong way. You know the set is flawless. You just forgot to brush. Make sure you're checking those pictures before the client leaves. Give them a little discount. Like, be like, hey, here's $10 for letting me take a million pictures. I appreciate you. I love your lashes. And I just want to share these with the world and put them into competitions. Make sure that you are entering these awards. Don't let imposter syndrome kick in. Don't let anything hold you back. You got this. And the worst that they can say is, sorry, you didn't win this year. And then it's a learning experience. What could you do next year to win? I think that's it for like Lash Tea Talk. My baby lost his tooth. Okay, so let me tell you this. Stefan, he's my oldest. And when he started losing his teeth, like when they start getting wiggly, he is a super cautious kid. So he was like freaking out and he wouldn't wiggle the tooth. He would barely eat. Like I had to chop up his food like into small bite sizes so he can push it to the side of his mouth. And by the time his teeth fell out, the other teeth were already fully grown. Like it basically pushed the loose tooth like forward to where they were like hanging out of his mouth. And when he would smile, his tooth would just like hang on his lip. And I'm like, dude, can we please just pull it? And I freak out about pulling teeth. It's just something about it where I feel like it's a little crazy. So I don't pull them out. But that last one, it was getting on my nerves so much. I was like, baby, can I please just pull it? And he was like, yes, I'll let you pull it. He would not let anybody else pull it. So I guess I have the magic touch there. But my baby, Jack, he lost his tooth. And this dude swallowed the tooth. He was eating a nutty bar, a nutty butter bar. We call them so many things. We call them nutty bars, nutty buddy bars, nutty butter bars. Like, you know what I'm talking about. The little wafer, chocolate covered peanut butter wafer things. Delicious. I love them. But he swallowed his tooth while he was eating one. And he was at daycare when he did it. And when he got home, I didn't notice it or anything. And then the next day I looked and he doesn't have a tooth. And I'm like, dude, where's your tooth at? He's like, I don't know. It fell out yesterday when I ate it. And so we're like laughing at him, be like eating his tooth. Antonio's like, dude, you like to eat teeth? He's like, I love to eat teeth. So that wasn't creepy at all. But yeah, the tooth fairy, I'm trying to figure out if the tooth fairy comes through because she doesn't have a tooth to collect. Or do we just say the tooth fairy don't come if you don't have a tooth? So my grandma was talking about giving him $50 for losing a tooth. And I'm like, the tooth fairy needs to visit me and give me $50. She can have all my teeth at that point. But yeah, we're losing teeth. We got 48 daughters and I am still married. Surprise. No, so I've been, because we eloped, we basically didn't really make any like social media posts or anything about the Marriage. So I'm basically in my soft, secret married girl era. And I'm loving every bit of it because, I mean, even though we're still in the honeymoon phase, I feel like being a wife is just totally different than just being a fiance or just being a girlfriend. No shade to anybody out there who's like, I don't want to be married. I just want to be a girlfriend or a forever partner. That's totally up to you. I love it for you, but my man is my man. And so that's it for tea time. I think that's it. So let's go ahead and get into You Got Mail.
You've got mail. Lash mail.
All right, best friends. So I want to get into this week's You've Got Mail. And listen, I saw this TikTok video about a month ago, and I had to pause and really just collect myself and take it one step at a time with processing what I was feeling and being a lash artist and thinking about how new beginner lash artists could look at this video. So I'm going to play a snippet of it. I'm going to put it in because I'm on my phone and I don't know how to do all of that. So I'm going to listen to it so I can give you like my accurate feedback, but I also am going to play it for you and hopefully the person doesn't like come for me or anything. But yeah, let's go ahead and play it real quick.
Pre-made suck. If you use pre-mades, you are called a lash tech, not a lash artist. If you try to take shortcuts in the beauty industry, you're always going to be operating at the base level. If you want to build a big brand with a community and a loyal following, you are going to have to be excellent. You have to go above and beyond what everybody else is doing. Because if you're operating down here, why would they work with you? And so the reason why lash artistry, like, we have to constantly be hiring artists because we get so many clients. And why is that? Because we have that spirit of excellence where we treat everybody like they're valued, they're heard. If you want to learn on TikTok only, if you don't want to take a training, if you do the bare minimum, if you don't invest, I said what I said, you won't have a multi-million-dollar brand and you won't be able to scale as a person. Because the reason why I'm successful is because I put skin in the game. I invested a lot of money to get to where I am today. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're just never going to touch this level of business.
Okay, so let's break that down because how dare you? I am not going to say who that is by the voice. You should be able to tell. I just started following this person maybe about 6 months-ish ago, and all of her stuff is amazing. Like, I love the way that she teaches. I love that she brings her personality into it, and she's like real and raw. But it's okay to have opinions, but I feel like this is destroying the confidence of beginner lash artists and other lash artists. And I'm going to say lash artists, not lash techs, because using promades or using handmade fans does not determine the quality or style of your set. You can be an artist and use promade fans. And this might sound a little spicy, but it's true. And I feel like a lot of the beginners need to know that it is okay to use promades. There are so many different styles of promades. Yes, this would have probably been true back in the day, back in the Stone Ages, but now their technology is so advanced and the styling of promades is so advanced that if you have the right materials, you can mimic any type of style that a handmade artist has created. It's all about using the curls and the fan sizes and playing with diameters and everything. It has nothing to do with whether you can make a perfectly beautiful handmade fan. You're wasting time trying to prove yourself to people like this who feel like they can judge you and call you a lash tech versus a lash artist because of the products that you use. Now, don't get me wrong. As an advanced lash artist or lash tech, whatever you want to call yourself, as an advanced lash tech or lash artist, you should know how to use classic lashes and make your fans, and also be able to teach someone how to use promades. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. For me, for example, I know how to make handmade fans. I know how to use classic lashes. I personally prefer to use PLA 2.0s. Why? Because I know that no matter what, my fans are going to be perfect every time. Yes, I can take time to hand make a fan and make it perfect using different techniques, but why spend all of that time stressing and worrying about a perfect, quote unquote, perfect fan when I can already have one that's packaged? Also, I honestly feel like this doesn't define your skill level. Your retention can be amazing with using ProMade. Your client results and your client experience is going to be easier. And this is an awesome gateway for beginner lash techs who are stressing out about using different techniques to make their handmade fans. So yes, I encourage you, buy ProMades and use them on your client. Also buy some volume lash trays and practice hand making your fans. But don't let anyone tell you that if you use pro-made fans, you suck. Because that's rude and it's not encouraging. And it's actually showing that mean girl, cliquey mentality that we're trying to push people away from in the lash industry. The world is already hard. Social media is already judgmental. Why are we bringing this energy into the educational lash space? I was super interested in taking a course by this instructor and probably still will. But I personally, as a pro-made lash artist or lash tech, I call myself both because what's the difference? It's like talking about being an esthetician versus an esthetician. The A in front or the E. Does it really matter? Not really. I've looked it up. I wish I had it in front of me right now. I should have had my laptop so I could give you the definition. Look it up. They're both the same. At first, I used to think that the A in front was because you're a medical esthetician, but it's literally just an aesthetically pleasing word to have the A in front. You can call yourself a lash artist or a lash tech or a lash guru or a lash, whatever you want to call yourself, a lash queen, a lash boss, whatever. As long as your results show that you can take care of your clients, they look good, they love their results, why does it matter? If you don't like ProMades, just shut up. Use your handmade fans. Awesome. You make perfect handmaids. Let's throw a parade for you. Let's not crap on other people who decide to use ProMades and probably can do a better set in less time. Let's talk about that. But yeah, okay, that's it for my rant. But I just wanted the newbies and the pro-made artists to know that I stand 100% behind you. There are other people in the game who's been lashing for years who can make handmaids but choose to use pro-mades because why not? Why work harder and not smarter? Yeah. So that video basically pissed me off. And I usually don't use swear words and all of that on the pod because of the lane that my pod is. But come on, get it together. Let's stop being judgmental. It's okay to express your feelings, but let's not tell other people that they suck because they don't use the products that you use. And as you being a carrier for multiple lash brands, as the brand that sells the ProMades, I would pull my stuff from your stores because that's lame. So while we're on the ProMade and handmade train, I want to take it a little bit further. Did you see that PLA put Tad cluster lashes on their site and people are upset? Like when I say upset, I've seen multiple posts saying, how dare you compare clusters to extensions? And I 1000% agree that cluster lashes and extensions are not the same. They are not in the same lane. They are under the umbrella of lashes, but there are categories to it. And we all know what the categories are: extensions, clusters, strips. Wait. We got to put individuals in there somewhere. So where would those fit? Individuals would go, I would say, extensions, individuals, clusters, and then strips are all the way at the bottom. No shame to anybody who wears any of these types of lashes. You are all welcome in the lash world, but there are levels to it. Now, extensions. These are for the girlies who want their lashes to look flawless pretty much all the time, don't have time to do their lashes themselves, don't want to come in as often, and they know that they're high maintenance and they don't care. They're not going to switch. They're not going to switch to any of the lower levels because they want the best. They want the longevity. They want the bomb retention. Now, individuals, those are kind of 2014-ish. I haven't seen a lot of individuals, just more so clusters. So we're going to skip past individuals. Clusters. Now, they're basically cut up lash strips, right? And then we got strip lashes. Now, I'm going to personally talk about PLA's cluster 3D printed lashes because I've tried other cluster lashes and haven't had any luck with them. I can usually wear them for like 2 days or 1 day and then I'm snatching them off like strips. But I personally use TAD cluster lashes, and because they have that microstructure, they can wrap and kind of like integrate with your natural lashes and hook in there so that when you're washing them and brushing them and stuff, they're staying. My lashes typically last 7 days, and I like to take them off for like a week, take a break, live my life. If I have something going on for like a weekend or something, I'll throw them on. Sometimes I take them off at 5 days. Sometimes I take them off after 3 days because I just like rubbing my eyes and letting my natural lashes be free. But I don't want this to scare any lash techs that see, or lash artists. I'm going to say both today because I'm petty. I don't want you to be scared and be intimidated by seeing TAD lashes on PLA's website. I want you to look at this as more like you're reaching a different audience. Be open-minded and see that you are serving a wider range of clients. So if you're scared of your extension clients converting over to cluster lash clients, most likely it's not going to happen. Your extension clients are your extension clients. They're there for a reason. Your cluster lash clients are maybe older clients with finer lashes, or someone who has an allergic reaction, contact dermatitis, or they have blepharitis and their eyes irritate them and they want to be able to remove them whenever. This is a good option for them. So instead of turning those clients away saying, oh, I only do extensions, get out of here, you cluster loser, you're saying, yes, I have an alternative option for you where you can come in once a week. I can put these cluster lashes on you. Here's a cleanser so you can wash your lashes. Yes, it's safe to wash these cluster lashes, and they are going to look and feel beautiful the entire time. You're not going to have to worry about them getting all crusty. Now, taking that route, that's like adding any other service onto your menu, like waxing, lash lift and tint. Like lash lifting and tinting did not get such a reaction, such a big reaction as adding these cluster lashes. It's time for us to just take a step back and chill out. Everybody's so angry about everything. If you want to offer cluster lashes, offer cluster lashes. It's okay. Nobody is dying from lashes. Nobody's dying from cluster lashes. Nobody's dying from handmade lashes. Nobody's dying from promade lashes. Like, come on. They're all lashes. We're under this umbrella, and the more that we open our minds and stay educated on all of the new things that are coming out, we can make so much money. There are so many eyes out there. So why are you limiting yourself Flexibility brings coins. Don't block your bag because of your ego or a naysayer in the industry saying that you can't do this or you won't be considered this because you do X, Y, and Z. As long as you are keeping the natural lashes of your clients safe, to glory be to you. Do you, boo-boo. Stop letting these people tell you what to do, because at the end of the day, are they putting money in your pockets? No. They're not laying in your chair. They're not giving you any money. They're only stressing you out because you follow them on social media and they're telling you stuff that you can't do, that you actually can do, and you can be proud about doing it. It's not like you're using cluster lashes with cyanoacrylate based adhesive and doing that. Now, that is a no. We're not doing that. We're using the proper tools for each service. Out of my blood pressure is to 138 or whatever a bad blood pressure is. Let's just move on to the next thing. But just remember, besties, you can do this. You could do whatever you want to do. If you're not sure, message me. If you're not sure of the process, if you're not sure if this is something you should be offering, text me, DM me, hit me up, email me, whatever you got to do, because I'm going to tell you that I'm here for you and I will help you through it, because the naysayers are really starting to piss me off. All right, let's go into lash talk.
Let's talk about Paris Lash Academy, your go-to spot for all things lashes. Whether you're team handmade, promade, or loving the 3D printed tad cluster lashes, PLA has everything you need to level up your lash game. From soft and fluffy fans to quick and easy clusters, they've got options for every artist and every client. And guess what? You can save 15% off your order when you use the code TIERAW at checkout. That's TIERAW. So stock up, slay your sets, and let your creativity run wild with a little extra coin in your pocket. Now back to the show.
Lash talk, lash talk. Lash talk about it.
Now let's talk about something huge that makes a huge difference in your lash journey. And I know that because it personally made a huge difference in mine. Going to lash events. Attending these lash events, especially if you're wanting to build your social media presence and get more involved in the lash industry itself, in the lash community, they can be expensive, but they are worth the investment. Now, not all of the events are expensive. There are some that are very cost effective and gets the job done. Now, those are going to be smaller. And then there are some that are pretty expensive. But is it expensive if you're getting good quality information? My opinion, no. Some could say yes. Oh, I just coughed and it hurt my side. Let's do a cost breakdown of these lash events. I've seen some lash events as small as $100 to $150. These are usually short networking events like mixers and beauty expos. So like you'll have like light snacks, booths where different lash companies, or it'll be like beauty expos. So there'll be hair, nails, and everything, and just the social energy. So this is more like you're shopping, you're looking for good deals, you're looking to maybe go look for your favorite brand. So like if I ever go to any events, I'm running to PLA's booth first if they're there, and then I'll go to all the other lash brands just to say, hey, I see you like in this big pool of beauty. Try to connect with all of my lash brands, even though PLA is my ride or die. I still support. It's like, okay, so it's like having siblings. Like we're all lash siblings and we might pick on each other, or we might like mess with each other in the house, but outside the house, it's all of us, all the siblings versus everybody else. So that's kind of how I look at the lash industry in that sense. When going to beauty stuff, I'm going to always try to connect with the lash brands first before I start going into hair and nails and everything else. Now, again, that is the 100 to 150-ish range, sometimes 200. And then that's not including like different like offering things, like if like they have separate like sponsor rooms and stuff like that. Now, the next one is like the 300 to 500. This one's gonna definitely include more speakers, more panels, many educational sessions, and you get like better swag bags and like deeper connections. These are more so going to be a day, a full day versus like a couple of hours or 2 days. Again, that's the 300 to 500. I think Lash Boss Summit will fall under that category, where it was, I think, 2 days, and there was the smaller expo area, and then they had, I don't think they had breakout groups. It was more so everything was in like a room where there was everybody, not any break off sections. And then we have our 800 to 1,000 plus events. These are usually multiple day conferences like LashCon, where it's full of keynote speakers, big name brands, small name brands, any brands you can pretty much think of, strategy workshops, heavy on the networking, and they usually splash a couple of parties in there because as a lash artist, we love to party, right? So I honestly feel like I'm gonna always attend LashCon. I actually applied to be one of their ambassadors for the year. I'm still working on building up my following on social media and getting that like appetizing follower number so that when I apply for ambassadorships, they're like, oh yes, we have to have her, or they're reaching out to me first. But until then, that's okay. I will apply, and I just let them know, I might only have 600, 700 followers, but I come in contact with lash artists every day. Like, I have a podcast. I am in like lots of groups. I do a lot of networking events. So I touch different people, and pause. But I feel like going to LashCon is one of the events that I wouldn't miss if my life depended on it. Now, I did have a little bit of anxiety the last couple of weeks the last couple of months actually, because there's been so many lash events and so many are still coming. And I'm just like, oh, I wish I could go to every single one. But you got to break down the cost. You got to pay for your flights, your hotel, your food, then the actual ticket for the event, plus outfits. Don't even get me started. So these $1,000 events are basically like $4,000 with including like travel. And a lot of the lash events are on the I always get confused on this because it makes no sense to me. Like how I look at a map of the United States and I'm like north, south, east, west, north up top, east to the right, south at the bottom, west to the left. And they call everything like I'm in Michigan and we're like in the Midwest, but it's actually like the east side of the state. So I'm so confused on that end. And obviously I sucked at geography, so don't judge me, judge your mom. But yeah, so everything is like on the California, Texas, Nevada, or in Florida, New York. There's nothing like ever in like Chicago. I mean, there'd be stuff in Chicago, but like a lot of the big lash events are like never in the area. Now, I did, and I'll tell you about this in a second. I'll go into more detail, but I had a ticket to Lash Bash, and they travel around to like random places that other lash places don't go to. And I missed it because I hurt myself and I couldn't go. I was so sad. I was so excited to go, but I'll get into that a little in a second with Buzz and Beats. But yeah, going to some of the smaller events, like the $100 events, are definitely worth it because that's more getting in connection with people who are like basically in your area. A lot of people tend to go to the cheaper couple hour ones. They don't travel for like 2-3 hours of an event. So this is mostly going to be for your like locals, which is cool. I love to connect with my local lash techs. I want to actually put together a group for the Southwest Michigan area because there are so many lash techs in this small area and I absolutely love it. Like, it's perfect to have a team of like-minded people who understand what you're talking about when you're raving or ranting about handmade versus promades versus clusters versus strips and all of that. So, our brains. So every level has its value. You just need to choose what fits your goals and your finances. You don't want to break the bank going to any of these events, except for LashCon, but it is definitely worth going broke for because all of the value that you get, you're gonna make that back. I'm just gonna say that. And that's from personal experience. Yeah. Make sure that you don't forget to check out your beauty expos like IBS and Premiere. Usually a lot of the lash brands are at those events as well. Make sure you just say hi, like put a face to a name, to a connection that's like in person, not just on social media. Like, hey, I'm B Fly Beauty, and here's me, I'm T in person, you know. Also, find you some lash classes and business education under the same roof as well. Don't just limit yourself to the lash stuff. There's business education that can go on, especially at LashCon. That's it for Lash Talk. I feel like investing in yourself is going to make all the difference. So if you need help, if you want a schedule of like the upcoming events, I try to post them on my stories whenever I see any award shows or any beauty events that's coming up. For people who may not know, like I didn't know about a lot of these events until I saw someone else share it on social media. So as soon as I learn something, I'm always trying to dish it back out to everybody else. Like, why not? Yeah, let's get into Buzz and Beat.
Buzz and Beats.
Okay, so let's talk about this. I had so much fun at the Beyonce concert. It was full of energy, the music, the outfits, everybody was like literally a whole vibe. And I can't believe that I got to go because I missed Renaissance and I was so sad. And I was like, I don't care if I get nosebleeder seats, I'm going to be there. Now, let me tell you, I limped in style. And yes, you heard me, I limped. I live in Michigan and the closest concert was in Chicago. I'm 2 hours from Chicago, so, you know, I'll bust out that drive to go see the Queen. We decided to make like a family event of it, so I went up like right after Jack's graduation, and then I went to the hotel, got dressed and everything. And when I was leaving, I had to run to the store to get a cowboy hat and some cowgirl boots. And when I was leaving the hotel, I went through the back entrance door because it was closer to the room and where I parked. And when I tell you, I stepped out of the door and there was like a ledge that wasn't marked or anything. So it was like a drop down, like a step. And I stepped down on my ankle the wrong way and I heard something like pop. I'm 32 years old. When you hear something pop at this time in the way my body is acting, I get nervous. Your girl start army crawling to the car because I was like, I had to pep talk myself. It hurt to put pressure on it. I wasn't going back into the hotel room because I feel like if I went back into the hotel room, I wasn't leaving anymore. I was going to lay down in the bed and just cry myself to sleep. But I bought these tickets the night before to see Beyonce. They were in section 100, which is like not floor level because I'm short and floor level ain't no good for me. I went the level right above that. And when I tell you, it was like the perfect seats. Like I saw everything. Like it was amazing. But I wasn't losing those seats over a stupid ankle. So I went to Walgreens, got me a little ankle brace, and couldn't find any crutches, but I was like, the ankle brace will work. And I limped from the parking garage all the way to my 100 seat, and I enjoyed the show. Now, I did have to stand for like 2 hours because there was like this wild tornado storm thing that was trying to keep us from seeing Beyonce, but we weren't having it. So yeah, my ankle was like swollen. It still hurts. That was last month on like the 11th, so May 11th, and it is now like June 11th or 12th, and my ankle still hurts. Now, I went to the ER, and my hospital in my area sucks, and they said that it was just a sprain, but I'm 1000% convinced that it's something else. But we're just gonna let it do its thing because life goes on. But I had so much fun at this concert. If she is still in your area or she's still coming to your area, no, she has like a Vegas concert coming up in July. I would definitely go to that one and experience it all because my outfit wasn't giving as much as others. Like I literally just went with like a basic some shorts, a shirt. I couldn't wear my cowgirl boots. I had my cowgirl hat on. And when I tell you, it was the night before, so who has time to plan an outfit? Not me. A minimalist at that. I didn't have anything cowgirl related, but it's okay. I still showed up. I had so much fun. It's definitely a concert worth going to. I know I've been talking about SZA and Kendrick's concert, and I actually missed it. Yeah. How did that happen? I don't know. But yeah, they have a concert in Atlanta. So I might go to that one. It's definitely worth traveling. And I have family in Atlanta. So I might just stop down and see them. But oh my God. I love the concert. I think I want to go to like a couple of more concerts by the end of the year. Definitely worth it. I would have loved to see Beyonce in the Sphere. Like the whole visual of her concert was Sphere vibes. Like they really fumbled the bag on that one. But yeah, if you don't know what's going on with that, check over there. So I am binging Disney Plus. I know it sounds crazy. I am literally watching all of my best nostalgic life on Disney Plus right now. So I've watched the Lizzie McGuire movie, Freaky Friday, High School Musical, Princess Diaries, The Devil Wears Prada, and I've actually started The Kardashians over from the beginning. And yeah, don't judge me. They are my guilty pleasure. I love Chloe to death and I love Lizzie McGuire. Like I literally, as I've gotten older, I'm a gangster. It take a lot to get me upset. It take a lot to get me to cry. But two things that's gonna make me cry is like a super like cute ending. So like when Lizzie and Isabella got together and exposed a dude like get out of here and she can sing, don't play with Lizzie because you try her and you got what was coming to you. And then The Devil Wears Prada at the end when Anna Hathaway got out of the car with Miranda and like through the phone and stuff, like I dropped a little tear there too because it's like, yes, stand for you. That is the vibe that you need to bring to these haters saying that you're a lash tech and not a lash artist. Like, throw the phone in the water because who do you think you are? You dragon lady. But anyway, not her specifically, just, you know, the Devil Wears Prada vibes of it. Another one that I am watching is, did I say Princess Diaries? I love Princess Diaries. She be always having me crying because Amelia Mignonette Thermopolis Rinaldi, Princess of Genovia, was me growing up. And I feel like such a kid. Like my inner T is like just crying, like with happiness. And when my husband is like watching me watch these shows, like I came home from work one day and I was over the day. I'm like, my client sucked. I sucked. I'm just over it. I had a new client and when she came in, side story, she came in and she booked a lash lift, but then she decided that she wanted lash extensions. And so I kind of just laid her down on the bed and I like did not go through all of my steps and everything. And it completely threw me off and it threw off the rest of my day. I felt like I dropped the ball with that client. And then it was just a mess. But I got home and Antonio was like, yo, what's wrong with you? You like off today? And I was just like, today's just not a good day. I'm upset. I'm like damn near depressed. I don't know what to do. And he just like turns on The Devil Wears Prada. And like, I'm like laughing at how Miranda is such a jerk to everybody, but she's the boss. So it is so funny. Like, she was like, hire all the other girls. You're the most disappointing one I've hired. I was just like, hire the non-stylish fat girl. And I'm like looking at her and she's like skinny and I'm like eating my Snicker while I'm watching. I'm like, she wouldn't have hired me. So, you know, just stuff to make yourself feel better, you know? So go back to your childhood. Like this month, watch some things that you used to watch as a kid, whether it's a movie or it's a show. Go back and watch it. See how you feel at the end of it. It definitely put me in my happy place, and I was like so excited to go back and watch them. So yeah, I'm gonna continue to do that for a while. I'm still watching the 100, and I've actually started Grey's Anatomy all the way over. So yeah, there's that. Grey's Anatomy always has me crying. All right, let's calm it down and go into our prayer corner.
The Prayer Corner, where faith and lashes meet.
Okay, so this month's scripture is going to be, "Blessed is the one who hears the word of the Lord and obeys it." That is Luke 20, that is Luke 11 and 28. This one hits me a little different this month, best friend, because when I tell you, God can give you the clearest word of your next steps or whatever he wants you to hear. But the obedience sometimes feels inconvenient or lonely, or like you're moving slower than everybody else. And the last time I talked with you, I talked about sitting in the moment and just being present with God. And this kind of goes along those same lines. But when God gives you a word, it's super important to be obedient, no matter how relevant it feels to you, no matter if you feel like you're ready to advance to the next steps, or maybe you're ready, but God's like, you need to slow down for a minute. Take time to reflect on yourself. Here's the thing. Obedience is protection. Sometimes we are on the go and we see our goals so far ahead, but God is like, stay still in this moment so that I can make sure that everything is good ahead, or I know what's ahead. And if you slow down right now, you'll be thankful for it in the end. So obedience is protection, it's alignment, it's elevation in disguise as sacrifice. I love that, because sometimes we think, oh, I can't wait. I gotta do it now. I gotta do it. And sometimes not being obedient is gonna come off as more of a sacrifice than what actually was not a sacrifice to begin with. Even in business, you want to be obedient to God and what he's telling you to do, how to build, how to price, who to serve, and when to rest. It all matters. It's all a part of God's blueprint for what he has in store for you. Obedience is hard. Sometimes we say to ourselves, or we say out loud, oh, the voice in my head told me not to do that and I did it anyway. 90% of the time, that's God. That's God saying, I know you want to raise your prices $30, $40, $50, but let's stay still for now and let's raise those prices a little later. Or God's saying, now it's time to raise those prices. And you're like, ooh, God, if I raise my prices, I'm going to lose these clients, and I need these clients. I'm sacrificing more than I'm making right now. And God's like, look, if you listen to what I say and you be obedient, you raise those prices, I'm going to bring you the clients who are going to make you 10 times over what you thought you could even make. So being obedient is important. It's hard. Sometimes, like, I'll have a client lay down and we talk for a minute. And specifically, I had one client. She never really came in and talked, and she would just lay down. I would do her lashes, get it done, and we move on with life. And this one day, she just lay down and I'm lashing her. I'm like, oh, how was your day? Blah, blah, blah. Doing, small talk. And she completely broke down. And she's just like, my tire got a flat, my kid needs surgery, I just lost my job. All of this is giving Straw. Like, if you haven't seen Straw on Netflix, go watch it. It was giving that. And in that moment, I heard a voice in my head, which was God. And he was just like, I need you to take care of my child right now. I need you, which I was going to give her the best experience anyway, but go above and beyond and don't charge her. I was like, wait a minute, guy. Because this was like maybe a year, 2 years ago. I'm like, wait a minute, guy. I got bills. You saw my light bill. It's about to get cut off. What are you talking about? Like, I cannot give her this service for free. And as I'm doing the lashes, like she got quiet after, we talked and stuff, and I started doing her lashes. She went to sleep. And this whole time I'm in this battle with myself. Do I be obedient? Do I not be obedient? Is this really God, or is this just me being empathetic and, being compassionate to somebody? And it was like, he kept saying, girl, you know my voice. You know I'm talking to you. You just don't want to listen right now because you don't want to be obedient. I took a second back and I was like, you know what, God, you're right. I'm going to just go ahead. She got up, loved her lashes. She like, all right, how much do I owe you? Or let's check out. And I was like, girl, this one is on me. I want you to take that money and focus on you. Do something for yourself other than lashes today. Take your kids, go do something. You could do a little bit with $100. And when I tell you that next week I had like 6 new clients reach out to me for multiple services, like not even just lashes, brow, bikini, full body wax, like all of it on top of lashes, and tipped really well. Like I had a $50 tip that day on top of like a $350 ticket. So I was obedient in that moment, and God turned around and blessed me. Don't let that voice in your head that's questioning God, that's battling back with God, the little angel and the devil on your shoulders, don't let that cloud your vision. God has the final say. He's not going to be aggressive and push into your life, but he's going to slightly nudge you. He's going to send you signs. He's going to talk to you and say, this is what I need you to do. Don't question me. Just do it. And I got you. It goes back to having the faith the size of a mustard seed and abandoning all other questionable doubts and just saying, God, I believe that you got this, so I'm going to do what you said do. And that's all that it takes. So let's end this with a prayer, because God, he's got us. He is our blueprint, and we would be nothing without him. Dear Lord, thank you for the reminders that obedience is better than control. Give us the courage to follow your lead, even if it's uncomfortable or unclear. Help us to be still in your presence and confident in your promises. Cover every lash artist, every lash tech, every lash guru, queen, boss, or whatever they want to call themselves. Cover every entrepreneur and every dreamer listening to this podcast today. Help us in being obedient and giving up the control. We know that you are the blueprint, and we know that you will guide us in the right direction. We thank you so much for everything that you do for us, for loving us even when we aren't obedient and when we're not perfect. And we thank you for building a beautiful community that we can turn to be more like you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, best friends, that is a wrap for Hey Lash Hey for today. Remember, whether you are team handmade, promade, cluster lashes, as long as you're giving retention, there is room for you. Stay open, stay obedient, and stay in your bag. I'll see you until next time. Lash on and have faith and continue to grow. Love you. Bye.
That's a wrap on this episode of Hey Lash Hey. If you love the vibes, don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. Make sure to subscribe and leave a review. It helps more Lash besties find the show. You can listen to Hey Lash Hey on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Stay connected and join the conversation. Follow T on social media at Hey Lash Hey, Podcasts on Instagram and YouTube, B.Fly, Beauty BFLIE, Beauty on TikTok. Tag the show and let us know what you're loving. See you next time on Hey Lash Hey.